Hello everyone, so my name is Elise and I'm part of the award-winning STEM response team at the University of Wolverhampton, and we strive to teach children from Key Stage 1 all the way up to Post 16 regarding STEM subjects. So lately, because of the situation, we've directed the majority, well most really, of our outreach online. And to do this, we've been creating some really nice graphics as well to get our message across. So today, I'm just going to do a quick little session teaching you how to make some really nice eye-catching graphics whilst using some free software. I know a lot of people might not have software like Photoshop or Illustrator on their home computers, and a lot of people might not have even had the experience or knowledge of using those before. So it's a really nice, easy way that I'm going to show you. Even if you have no background knowledge on graphic design, you can still make some nice, eye-catching images. So we're going to be using two websites today to do this. Our first website is Canva. So Canva's here. And now on Canva, you have to make an account, but it's worth it because the account's free, by the way. You can get a pro account, but I still have the free account. And on the account you can see all your saved designs that you've done, you can save your uploads, and it's a really nice place to keep all your graphics organised. The second website we're going to use is this one here, and it's just called remove.bg, and this is the website that we're going to use later on that I'll show you to remove backgrounds of any images that you want to upload onto your graphics. So we'll start off with Canva. So once you've created your account, you're good to go and you can create a design. So to create our design, we just go to the top left hand corner here and we click on create a design. Now it gives you lots of options. You can have A4 documents, infographics, Instagram posts, Facebooks, t-shirts. There's loads and loads to choose from, and the real difference of all of these is just the size of the canvas that you're going to be working with. So A4 document is obviously A4, but it's portrait. Instagram is a square shape. Facebook covers are wide and elongated. If you want to make your own custom canvas, like say you wanted an A4 document that was landscape, not portrait, you'd have to go into custom documents and then type the width and height in pixels or centimeters in here. It's really helpful to go on Google. You can just put like A4 landscape dimensions or A3 dimensions in here, and it'll give you the pixels or the centimeters or millimeters that you'll need. So we create a special kind of canvas for our Twitter posts. It's one that has the same pixels as the preview image on Twitter. So I can't remember off the top of my head, but you can find it on Google just by typing in Twitter dimensions. So we have our Twitter one saved here. So whenever you open a new document for Canva, it'll open in a new tab. So this is what we use for our Twitter pictures. So this is where, if you've seen Wild Wednesdays, all my Wild Wednesdays banners and graphics are created. And I'm going to show you today just how I created this shark picture for Wild Wednesday. So before we get into the detailed compartments, I just want to give a quick talk through on the actual Canva display, so what the buttons all mean. So we're going to start on our left hand side at this little navigation column here. So we've got a button that says templates, we've got one that says photos, elements, text, music, videos, background, uploads and folders. So on templates, this is basically like a template already made for you that you can use, and you can search ones. Let's search woodland, if that comes up. So it'll just give you associated backgrounds and templates already made for you to use. So that can be really helpful if you're a bit stuck in the design process. It can give you some ideas, or if you're strapped for time and you have to make a graphic really quickly. Photos, it gives you loads of photos. These you can use as backgrounds or just to insert on like a poster or something, whatever you're going to do. And again, you can search, if you search flower, you'll see it has lots of flower photos. Now you can also see this little crown that appears sometimes. So Canva is obviously free to use, but it does have a pro version. And whilst there are lots of free photos and elements to use, a lot of them will be for the pro version only. And that is what these little crowns are. So when it has a crown, it says it's the pro version. You can buy it separately, that one image, or you can do a subscription. I haven't got a subscription to Canva, I just use a free version like I said earlier, so I don't think it's the end of the world not being able to have certain photos. Moving on though to our elements tab. So this is like the main body of your graphic. So it has like all clip art images, it has grids, so you can put photos in here and it will crop the photo to a certain rectangle shape. Same with frames, it has shapes. It even has like charts and some animated stickers as well, which is really helpful. And again, if I just type monkey, you'll see it comes up with like loads of different clip art style things. Text, obviously self-explanatory, is text. Music and videos. These are two things that I haven't really explored yet because obviously I only make infographics and I don't make videos on camera. I use a different program to do all my videos on. Then we have backgrounds. So backgrounds, again, a bit like photos, but it just inserts a background straight onto your canvas and you don't have to faff around making it into a nice background. So let's start by making a new canvas. So if I press this little plus sign here, that will add me a new page. Now when you add a new page, it will instantly carry across the background, but I'm just going to delete that and show you how to insert one yourself. So to make the shark graphic, I just searched C and I chose this one here. Now that's very, very bright at the moment, and when you're making graphics you don't want your backgrounds being too distractive from the actual from the content of the graphic itself. So to fix this, I usually dull the can't get my words out. I usually dull the transparency to around 30, but you can always change this yourselves. And then I change the main colour here to a darker black. And that's about the same. In fact, my other one is a little bit darker. And there we go. And that just gives you a nice blank canvas then to work on, and it's not going to be too distracting from the main point that you're trying to get across. So we've got our background, and now we want to start adding some of these elements. As you've seen, if we went into elements and we typed shark, there's not really that much there. A lot of them are pro versions only, and the only ones that are free, wrong canvas, the only ones that are free are like kind of clip arty ones, which are not what we want for this Wild Wednesday. For this Wild Wednesday we're focusing on sharks, and especially like sharks that are in the UK, so we want to showcase those exact species. So you want to go into Google Images, so just open Google, and then I just open Google when it's already on Google. So if we just type in blue shark and we go into images, we want to find an image that's really crisp. So if the image is too blurry, when you insert it onto Canva and you like make it bigger, it'll just go really pixelated and it won't look professional, it'll just look really messy. So you want to find one that's really nice and crisp, and I used this one here. So all I did was I right clicked it and pressed saved as and saved it into a folder. Now when I make graphics, for each graphic that I'm trying to make, I'll assign that graphic to a folder. So for each of my Wild Wednesday that I do, I have like Wild Wednesday Shark, Wild Wednesday Ape, and I put a date by them. It just helps them keep all the photos really organised. So when I'm trying to upload them to Canva, I don't have to spend ages trying to find them in a sea of pictures. So save that, and then we go onto this remove.bg website. And it's really simple. I've used other websites before to get rid of backgrounds, and this is the best one so far. I personally use Photoshop myself, but to be honest, it's actually so much faster doing it on this website if you don't understand Photoshop that well. And all you do is you press upload image. Let's press our shark, and there you have it. It's already taken the background off, and you can just download it and then upload it onto your Canva account. So obviously I've already done this, I've saved it. So let's go back to our Canva, wrong tab this one. If we go into our uploads, we can then upload an image, and it'll be in whatever folder we saved, and then that image will stay in this little section here afterwards until your storage gets full, which, as you can see, mine's getting quite full now. Let me just, there we are, find our blue shark. So once your blue shark is on here, you can make it bigger, you can rotate it however you want to. You'll also see this kind of bar on the top, so it has effects. This just kind of gives you like artsy effects, which I don't really tend to use. You can put a filter on it, like make it brighter, pinker. Again, I don't really use that so much, but if it's what you want to do, then this is how you do it. Adjust is just adjusting the saturation and contrast. Cropping, you can just crop the ends. And obviously flip, you can flip horizontally or vertically, however you need to. Then on the right hand side, position, let me just make him straight, he's going to annoy me if he's not straight, there we are. So on your position, this is a really helpful tool, so you can press middle and it pops you straight in the middle and centre or top. It saves you ages trying to line him up, is he in the centre, is he not? It does show you with the pink lines, but it's so much quicker just going top or middle centre. Again, we have our transparency, and we have things like copy the style, duplicate, delete. I don't tend to use the copy or the duplicate. I just think it's easy if you click the image and then press Ctrl and C, and then obviously to paste Ctrl and V, it's much faster. Okay, so once you've got your element, shall we call it, on here, it's time to start adding some more elements and thinking about your composition. Okay, so just off camera quickly, I've added in all the rest of my sharks that I've got from the uploads. Now you'll see a few of mine do go off the page, but that is just personal preference. It's totally up to you how you compose your designs, and you will find your own style if you don't have one already. The main thing to think about when composing your design is not to try and cram too many graphics or elements into the same space. You might think that you need to use up all the white space or the blank space that you can, but actually having some blank space that's left over brings some kind of balance into your picture. So don't be scared if you've got some white space, because sometimes white space can actually be better than if you try and cram too much in there. But now we've got our composition done, it's time for us to try and upload some text. So again, we're going to go into our navigation column on the left hand side and just press the text box here. So we have some options. We have add a heading, add a subheading, or add a little bit of body of text. Now these don't actually matter so much. All the difference is that a heading is big and bold, subheading is slightly smaller, and the body text is again smaller than that. But again, it really doesn't matter, because no matter which one you choose, you can just change the fonts and the sizes and the bold or whatnot, however you please. You can also choose from some font combinations. So if you're not sure what fonts you want to go for, have a little look down here. You'll see quite a few different designs, and you might find one that you like. So let's choose Parmesan cheese. Might take a while to load. There we go. So Parmesan cheese, there we are. And you can just click on it and edit this. Hello sharks, and then you can edit the little one as well. Or if you just wanted that first one, you can just click on the second one and delete it like that. So for my Wild Wednesdays, I always use a really capturing font for the title. So to change your font, well, let's call this Sharks. I can't remember actually what I called my original one. Let's actually look. UK Sharks, there we go. So if we type UK Sharks, I can't type it all today. I'm not this bad normally, don't worry. So then just highlight it all. You can either highlight it by clicking and dragging, double clicking, or by pressing Ctrl A, which will highlight all the text in your chosen text box. So to change the font, we go up here to where it says Open Sans, and then the font I use is Barrio, and I make it bigger for the title. There we go, and let's pop that over here. I usually try and make it a contrasting colour to the background too, just so it really stands out. You can use whatever text you want for this. I would say, as a rule of thumb, use no more than 3 different text types. So it's okay having a different text type or font type, sorry, for the title than it is that you use for the body text, because you don't want to read everything in this weird kind of font. You want like a nice font like this for the actual body of the text. So whatever you're doing, when you're making a title or when you're making body text, you want to use a text font. You want to use a font that's easy to read. So fonts like Open Sans, Arial, Calibri, these are all fonts which we call sans serif. Now sans serif fonts, they have like no decoration on them. Let's just show you the difference between a sans serif and a serif, and you'll understand what I'm trying to say. So Times New Roman is a good example for this. There we go. It's being very slow. There we go. Okay. So you can see on our serif font, the letters are very, very crisp. There's no little decorative bits coming off. Whereas on our sans serif, has no decorative bits. I keep getting these two completely mixed up. So sans serif has no decorative bits, whereas serif does. So you can see the difference. So like on the D's and the A's, you don't want these little tails coming off the text, as it can be quite distracting, especially if it's quite a small font size. So good ones to use, obviously Open Sans, which is the default on Canva. Arial is also good. If I spell it right. I can't spell Arial. It is on there somewhere. But just text like that are really easy to read. Text you'd use on a PowerPoint, for example. So then you can just type it in, saying basking shark, for example. Now you can either change the size using the text here, so you know exactly what size your font's going to be, or you can just drag it to a size that seems suitable. I do this quite often when I'm trying to gauge what size to put it, and then I'll go by the actual, the closest denomination. Again, change the colour. I tend to keep all my titles and subheadings the same colour and my body text a different colour, just to show that differentiation between the fonts, but again, it's totally up to you. Just like the font style though, I wouldn't use more than 3 colours in any one design, because that's just going to make it far too busy and you're not going to be able to focus on the important parts of your design. So now we've got all our fonts on there. I'm just going to scroll back up to the finished product. As you can see, I've got these little circles with some text in them. I'm going to show you how to make one of those. Now, all these circles mean for the Wild Wednesdays is just the animal's IUCN status. So is it endangered, is it vulnerable, etc. Just to add that little bit more information onto our slide. So let's just get rid of these sharks for some space. So to make those, or to make something similar to those if you want to, go back into Elements and press Shape. So just make a little circle, and I change the colour. Let's make it a nice, no, let's make it pink. Let's make it a pink circle. And again, you can just make it small, make it big. I'll make mine quite big just so you can see what I'm actually doing. And then again, just add some text. Let's make it into a smiley face, shall we? So I'm going to change my smiley face to black, as white will be too light, to see on my circle. I'm going to rotate my smiley face 90 degrees and make him bigger. So then I'm going to put him in the circle like this, and that's what these things are. Now if you want to move this around, which no doubt you will want to move it, you can do one of 2 things. You can hold your left mouse button down so it makes like a little capture tool, and as you can see, that's quite annoying sometimes as it captures the other things. But if you get it just right, it'll group them, you can move them around. Or an easier thing to do, whilst both elements are captured, go up to the right hand side where it says group and just press group, and now you can move them as one. You can always ungroup these afterwards if you need to make any amendments, but it's really good to group them, and then you can just copy and paste them as you need as whole images. So it's really, really helpful to do that group icon. There we are. So with all of our not just our Wild Wednesday graphics, but any graphics we put on our Twitter or any kind of social media, we always include our social media tags, just so, well, one reason obviously so people can't rip off our designs as their own, but more importantly so people can find us on the relevant social media channels if this design ends up somewhere else. And I got these little designs again just from the elements bar, and I just searched Twitter, and you see you have loads of Twitter icons. You can do the same for Facebook, LinkedIn. There we are. It doesn't matter if you spell things wrong as well, like I do, it'll still bring up, it knows what you mean. And then again, I've just grouped all these together so it's easy to move. And that's it really. That's how you create your beautiful educational infographic. Before you save this and go sharing it on social media, it's really important just to show a member of your team, or the whole team if you've got a relatively small team, just so they can give you some feedback. Once you've spent like a few hours or however long on a piece of artwork, it can be kind of hard to see things that are wrong or things that could change. So having different people look at it and give you feedback can be really useful. It's also useful to spot spelling mistakes, which I tend to do quite often, as you've probably noticed in this video. So it's always beneficial before it goes out, just get some feedback. Especially with like science things or any kind of vocational subject that you're educated in really. It's really good to get someone who's not from that subject in to have a look, because the worst thing you want is for your science, for example, your science graphic to go out, and though it might make sense to you, someone who doesn't do science might have no clue at all what it actually means. So it's always good, like I sometimes show it to my mom if she's at home, because we're both working from home, so if she's available I'll just show it her, and see if she understands it, which is really beneficial too. So when you are ready to save your work, just go up into the top right hand corner where it says publish, and then download. You can share it straight to Twitter and Facebook, but I prefer to have a bank of my resources saved to go on the website as well, and for whenever I need them in the future. So you press download, it'll try to make you save it as a PNG file. So PNG files are they're higher quality than JPEGs, but on Canva for some reason when I save things as PNG, it tends to get a bit blurry. So instead I go for PDF print, and make sure you select whichever page it is you want. This one's page 4. You can download the whole thing, but it'll take up loads of memory in your computer and it'll make you start lagging a bit as well. So it's really helpful just to download the one. So you press download, it'll start preparing your design, and then it saves to your desktop, and you can just click on it, and then let's just zoom in a bit. Then you can save it to whatever folder that you want to. So I hope that quick tutorial made sense for you all. It's just to show you how you can make your own educational infographics without having to have the expensive Adobe software like Photoshop or Illustrator, which can also take quite a while to get to grips with. So Canva was the software, the main website that we used today, and then we used, oh, where's it gone? We used that remove.bg site just to get rid of the backgrounds. So thank you all for watching and listening. I hope you've learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, please check back for more. We'll do some more teacher CPD sessions. I might do one on Photoshop actually, or Windows Media Player, for those of you that want to make even better graphics, and for those that want to make videos for your students too. We'll also be uploading more in the time to come, so please keep tuned on our Twitters and our Facebooks just so you can keep ahead and notified of when those go out. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact. You can do this on our social medias if you drop us a message on a DM, or you can give us an email as well. If you prefer to email, our email is STEM, so STEM, STEMresponseteam@wlv.ac.uk.